Now, there's concern and confusion after Nigeria's state oil company, NNPC, dramatically raised petrol prices to 557 naira per litre, up from 189 naira. The steep rise came just days after President Tinubu said fuel subsidies would be scrapped. The move sparked a scramble by motorists to fill up before prices jump, causing queues across the country. The increase signals an end to the fuel subsidy regime that the NNPC says costs it $867 million every month. Nigerians are now bracing for higher transport fares, while businesses that rely on generators face higher costs. So a tough start under the new administration of President Tinubu. So what's being made of the fact that so far he hasn't said anything about measures to alleviate the plight of long-suffering Nigerians amid warnings of rising prices and even possibly a national economic downturn?
Candid opinion, it would rather have been done at a more suitable time in view of the fact of the PIA 2022, that's the Petroleum Industry Act, and Appropriation Act 2023, which are the extant laws, as well as Mr. President's pronouncement in his inaugural speech that he's going to govern by the rule of law.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the National Chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, or IPAC, Yabagi Sani, who's also the presidential candidate of the Action Democratic Party and who you saw there addressing a news conference earlier today and warning that this fuel crisis could have colossal consequences for Nigeria. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. And of course, in addition to being the National Chairman of IPAC, a former presidential candidate, you're also an energy and crude oil expert who once worked for the state oil company, the NNPC. In that context, how are you processing this fuel subsidy issue and the fallout from it?
Well, I believe that it's an idea that I think its time has come, in the sense that you have an economy that is so blessed by way of the endowments, both in terms of resources, human capital, and our position in the scheme of things globally. Socially, politically, economically, Nigeria is a big player. And here we are in an economy that you can say was going through a lot of bottlenecks. Unfortunately, most of these bottlenecks were occasioned by the attempt by the government to cushion the effects of the system of governance that we have chosen, which is all running of economy, market economy, talking about capitalism, and capitalism says to you according to your ability, And here you are with weak domestic economic structures. Nigeria is operating in a global setting, especially when you look at where we have the comparative advantage, which is the crude oil and gas, which we export. And given the population and the energy requirement of our domestic economy, you are always subject to the vagaries of the international
but I'm wondering what
prices.
Your position is on this fuel subsidy removal and the fallout from it.
My position is that it is something that we have to do. We have to do because the intention is good, but the implementation of the subsidy by ourselves, Nigerians, I'm talking about officials, people are involved in the value chain, left so much to be desired, meaning that the fraud in the administration of the subsidy is such that it outweighs the benefits of it,
I understand all that, but so, it's now been removed. And,
yes.
And I mean, just looking at the last day or two.
Exactly.
What is your assessment of how it was, the fallout from it?
The fallout is that Nigerians are not happy, and we are not happy too, as political leaders, because we believe that politics, or rather democracy, is supposed to be something that delivers happiness, for the citizens. And of course, this very bitter pill that we have to swallow does not go down well with the citizens.
Right.
And
so you think President Tinubu got it wrong, the way that he did it? Is that the point you're making? Because you're kind of going around in circles.
Yes, the point I'm making is that President Tinubu was responding to the demands, the urgency that is there for us to get the economy right.
Right.
So, but again, like we said, maybe there could be a better way of saying it and doing it.
Right. Because,
but already,
right.
Already the die was cast. In the sense that...
No, we understand that, but it wasn't supposed to be removed until the end of June, which gave them a month.
Yes.
To try and put things in place. I mean, this chaos that is happening in this country is happening in a country that is already at war with poverty, insecurity, unemployment, high inflation, and intense political wrangling.
Exactly.
So not the most auspicious time, is it? And this is just something also to further traumatize the people. Is there any justification in your assessment? You're a politician, you're an oil expert, you're a Nigerian, you're the chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. Is there any justification for why this is happening now?
The only justification is the fact that the economy cannot, and the rest of the world will not wait for Nigeria.
No, I understand that.
And the fact of the matter,
it's the way that it's being done.
Yeah, the way that it was announced by Mr. President.
Everybody agrees that the subsidy must go.
Yeah. But the manner of announcement, I mean, because that moment was historic. That moment was the moment that anything that, even the body language of Mr. President, means a lot at that particular moment of the moment of the inaugural speech. So saying that the subsidy is gone, people were taken aback, that we're supposed to be celebrating to an extent. We are happy
so
that
we don't want bad news.
Exactly. People didn't want the bad news to be given in the manner it was given. But the fact of the matter is that no matter how you say it, at that moment in time, I don't think any president, you would have just said it in a different way. But you are torn between, you are between the blue sea and the devil, because the extant laws, have said that this subsidy is gone. And you have said too that you are going to govern by the rule of law. So how else are you going to pronounce, or are you going to talk about this very, very important, aspect of your economy? It's going to define, the economy and the administration of
so in a sense,
Tinubu.
it was important to do it without any political coloration. Is that what you're saying? Like hit people right between the eyes. Like this is the reality. We're going to have to face it, and we're going to have to deal with it. But then he didn't say, well, this is the reality, and this is what we're going to do, which is where the presidential bit comes in. This is what we're going to do to deal with that situation.
No, he didn't. He said it's gone before he now provided the reasons why he said it.
No, I'm not even talking about the reasons. I'm talking about the palliatives, the way to deal with, to ameliorate the effects of it.
I think his intention was not to announce that he has removed the subsidy or something like that. All he was trying to say is to present, the bad news as it is, that this is what...
the next month.
Yes,
basically,
that this is what is going to happen. But the NNPC, they were waiting, for any slightest opportunity that they can capitalize on, and then do what they have been wanting to do, which is to get, what they call the returns, on investment.
Well, Mele Kyari, I don't know if you heard him, he was on Arise News earlier today. He's the NNPC boss. He reassured Nigerians that fuel queues will disappear within a few days. Are you reassured?
I want to believe him, but the fact of the matter, the history, to me, I want to wait and see. Wait and see in the sense that it wasn't that he didn't have the fuel all this time around, but still you will experience one, issue of supply, at one time or the other, and at every time they will tell you we have enough fuel, So it's just that distribution that is the problem. So we've not taken care of that distribution. We are still not taking care of the issues that are in that distribution, because by the time you take the fuel from Lagos, for instance, and then to the north, the game that the drivers, play, it's something different, because they engage in all these sharp practices, and that could also introduce another. I bet you the man in my village, Bida, or in Meduguri or something like that, may not get the fuel even at this official price, because there are a lot of issues in the distribution of fuel in this country.
Well, they've never got it at that official price.
And that's why, and that is why we're asking Mr. President to look into the whole arrangement of the value chain of the supply of petroleum products in Nigeria.
Yeah, but you would have
pipelines.
You would have thought that would have been looked at.
Refineries should have been working.
Yeah.
And a lot of things would have been put in place before the announcement of the remote subsidy. But I think he was in a fix, the president, because, like I said, he would have been against the law if he says that no, I'm going to go on with the subsidy.
Right.
And like NNPC was saying, well, we don't have the money, and we cannot continue to do it for free or on giving it to Nigeria and then waiting until when they can recover the cost from the country. So I think what Tinubu did at the inaugural speech is perhaps not the way that most people would have expected, but I think is the reality.
Okay.
He was confronted with the reality of the situation, and they said, well, this is fait accompli. This is what I'm left with.
Okay. I want to thank you very much indeed, Yabagi. Sani is the national chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. He's also the presidential candidate of the Action Democratic Party. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Charles.